What's happening, race fans? I'm Kyle Benjamin for frontstretch.com, here to break down all the action from Iowa and the Iowa Corn 350 powered by Ethanol. Really, at some points during today's action, you had absolutely no idea who was going to win or what was going to happen. Classic short track race, not the fender banging, bumper crunching race that I think some would like when it comes to short track. And for those of you who are going to jump at the comments and say, hey, Iowa's not a short track, it's less than a mile. It's a fast short track, but it is absolutely 100% a short track. And it was a great race. All in all, William Byron getting the victory when it looked like he was moments away from running out of fuel for the third time this season. The driver of the 24 able to stretch that Sunoco race fuel out just enough to get the W. Becomes the fifth multi-time winner on the season, with his second win following up his Daytona 500 victory. Byron maintains or regains the point lead. He's got an 18-point gap over teammate Chase Elliott. Byron, Elliott, and Larson, your top three as we head to the absolute final stretch of the regular season with 3 races left. And that regular season points title is tight. Denny Hamlin, after today's struggles, 51 back. Hamlin, not much of a contender, surprisingly, as good as that team has been all season and as good as he is on short tracks. The 11 car just not really there today. Half spun after contact with AJ Allmendinger about the midpoint way of the race. And because of the kind of weird way the second stanza, this one unfolded, Hamlin found himself back in contention today after that spin. He was down, he was up, he was in, he was out, and Hamlin managed to come back and finish well. We'll pull up the results for you and go through that after Iowa. But it looked pretty much like it was going to be a Ford day for a good chunk of today's race. Hamlin finished 24th. So uncharacteristic for the 11 team, ends his streak of 5 straight top 5s. But for the bulk of the race, the Fords had it on lock. Brad Keselowski comes into this race with 0 playoff points. He leaves with a handful. One stage 1, one stage 2. I think if everything had played out in his favor, he might have had a chance to win. I think he needed Byron to get hung up in traffic. Ultimately, he couldn't get past Briscoe there. Ryan Blaney was on a charge at the end. But Ford has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the top 10. And then Chevy's got a couple. Good day for Austin Dillon, the RCR driver, coming home 10th. Bubba Wallace finished 6th. Very quiet day for Bubba. TV didn't really pay much attention to him kind of throughout that one. Obviously, the battle focused on the laps that were winding down on whether or not Byron was going to have enough fuel. But Bubba Wallace, who was, again, much non-factor much of the day, coming on strong and following up his win at the Brickyard with a solid 6th-place finish. Ryan Preece was very fast today. Carson Hocevar, again, another testament to just the weird nature of today's action in Iowa. Hocevar, who was involved in a couple scraps earlier, finished 8th. I still believe that before the end of the season is up, and I've said this a couple of times here on our post-race show, Hocevar is going to get a win before this one is all said and done. Since the Spire cars have speed, he is not afraid to hang it out, high, wide, and handsome, as they used to say. And Hocevar's got the talent and skill. If he can kind of put a full race together, I think he'll find his way to victory lane before everything is all wrapped up in Phoenix. The playoff picture is still a little open. Again, with 3 races left in the regular season, your bottom, say, 5, right? Your top 10 all have a win. or your top, well, everybody except Chris Buescher, who's currently 11th according to this. Priest doesn't have a win. Chastain has a win. Austin Cindric has a win in 17th. I'm really unsure. NASCAR does a curious job of setting they've got their regular season points, and then they've got their playoff standings. Those don't line up. Austin Cindric is 17th in points with a win, but he'll be a 12 seed in the playoffs. Make that make sense for me. I'd love it. Earlier this week, story came out in the Sporting Business Journal. NASCAR is looking for an independent marketing agency to help them reach fans. I would say making sure your playoff standings and your regular season point standings are closer in line so that it's easier to understand would be helpful. As someone who's kind of does this on a weekly basis, and I'm pretty, tuned into what's going on. Having to jump between two pages on the website to figure out where they are points wise and playoff wise is not ideal. Anyway, back to the playoff picture. 13 winners this season. Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, and Chris Buescher are 14, 15, and 16. They don't have wins. Ryan Preece is 23 back of that playoff cut line. Kyle Busch, 73 back. Ty Gibbs, 87. AJ Allmendinger, 118. I think anybody from Preece, Busch, Gibbs, Allmendinger, they've got to win. Brad Keselowski, not going to get it on points at this point. He's got to win. You got to think that Richmond is going to be a strong track for the 16, considering the speed they had today. Richmond and Iowa, obviously very different. Richmond's going to be a night race. Iowa, very pleasant middle of, late fall field there in Iowa today. Temps in the 70s probably explained why the racing was so good. So I really couldn't tell you who's going to round out those last four spots. I think Tyler Reddick is pretty safe. He's 122 up on the cut line. Unless he DNF'd the next three, he might fall out. Bowman always a threat to win. Buescher, again, they can steal one. Anybody though, really, it's with Daytona, the last race, you could, like we saw last year with Harrison Burton, somebody could come in and spoil that and knock Buescher or Bowman out. But Bowman's got a 40-point cushion on 16. So again, a little, hard to fall out on points if you're Alex Bowman, unless something really goes awry. But as far as, today's race goes, I know there were some folks on social media kind of complaining about the lack of passing, the lack of, this, that, the other. Yeah, I posed this question to you. What did you expect? What did you hope for out of today? You saw side-by-side racing for the lead a lot. The top 4 or 5 were under a blanket. There was side-by-side racing throughout the field. Yeah, it's not awesome that the winner went 144 laps on a tank of fuel, which also meant he went 144 laps on a set of tires. Some things can be done there to soften those tires up a little bit more. I know Goodyear is working on that. Do you make the fuel cells smaller? Do you mandate they have to put less fuel in? I don't know. But 144 laps on one tank that's a lot, and I was almost a mile. So nearly 100, call it, 130 some odd miles, on a tank of racing fuel that's probably too much. It's just, again, one commentator's thoughts. William Byron, your winner tonight. We'll run through the top 10. Byron, Briscoe, Keselowski, Blaney, Preece, Bubba Wallace, Alex Bowman, a strong 7th. Carson Hocevar in 8th. Joey Logano, very quiet 9th place finish today. And Austin Dillon comes home 10th. Chastain, Cindric, Berry, Chase Elliott, John Hunter Nemechek round out the top 15. Uncharacteristic day for Kyle Larson, who came home 28th. He had some struggles today. Again, was kind of on the cusp of being involved a couple times, but I think the damage he suffered from his run-ins with more than a few drivers impacted that. No other real surprises looking through the rundown in this one today. Brad Keselowski kind of really being the outlier. That 6-car super duper fast. So the Cup Series heads from Iowa to Watkins Glen, another chance for Shane Van Gisbergen to get in victory lane, a place that Michael McDowell has run well in the past. Obviously, Chris Buescher runs well there. He picked up a W this time last year, so there's a chance for some guys to sneak a win at Watkins Glen next week. And we'll see a couple more races left in the regular season. We've got Watkins Glen, we've got Richmond on a Saturday night, and then Daytona to wrap out the regular season. So we will be back this time next Sunday to break down all the action from Watkins Glen. You can check out all our at-track coverage. We've got a team in Iowa. We've got a team at Hickory outside of Charlotte for the Cars Tour today. Frontstretch.com. Head over to our YouTube channel for all the video interviews from drivers, and then check out everything we write. The team going to be back in action next week in earnest. But until next time, you all have a great weekend. I'm Kyle Benjamin for Frontstretch.com. We'll see you next Sunday.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Front Stretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Front Stretch fans can use promo code FRONTSTRETCH to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay, stay rewarded.